Welcome to the first edition of Token Talk. 10 tokens that we're looking forward to watching in 2023. Call them our Black Friday list if you like. It is the week of Thanksgiving. It's Tuesday, 2 days to go till Thanksgiving. And I think we're long overdue to cover these, a 10 token list. Like when you came up with this idea, I could not believe that we hadn't done it yet, but we're doing it now. It's our Token Talk, first edition ever. You can expect this every year unless this completely bombs. Then this will be the only time we do this. But you've put a list together of 10 tokens. I don't know whether to call them top or best or what, but we're watching them well into 2023, right?
Yes, we'll call them watchable tokens, and we will do this episode again, and we'll probably do it around the same time next year where we'll actually talk about what these tokens from this episode did. So we'll go over the prices as well. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I love it. Little follow-up to show how terrible we are at picking tokens.
Right.
Who would have seen Bitcoin go to $1? That's crazy.
Yeah. Whoops, we were wrong. Wilder token was the one we should have went with. So, yeah. So 10 tokens. It'll be a pretty quick episode today. It is very important for today's episode to stress the fact that none of this is financial advice. This is what Ryan and I have been doing some research on. This really isn't any of the metaverse tokens, a lot of the smaller projects that we've been looking at. Those are a lot of long shot guesses. These are more of the safer bets and more of the big projects and more of the ones that will move the entire industry forward, I believe, whether or not some of these individual games are failing. So none of this that we're saying today is financial advice. All of this is just informational, educational, and probably a springboard for you to jump off and do some research and figure out which of these tokens or which ones that aren't on this list are the ones you might like to invest in. But what we say is not financial advice. But these are 10 big projects that have a big audience, a big following, a big social media movement, and a lot of possibilities, and they're from several different sectors of the industry: DeFi, gaming, NFTs, store of value, decentralized applications and stuff. So we're going to start off.
Regardless of what you're into, there's probably a token for you.
There's probably a token to look into for you. We're going to start off with the Big Daddy. The Big Daddy is Bitcoin. That's the coin you see behind me here. There's 21 million of them. We're just going to give the basic breakdown of why this is on the list. The number one, anybody you ask, there are so many smart people on YouTube, like Michael Saylor, like Anthony Pompliano, like some of these guys that are hardcore Bitcoiners that they can just verbalize it so well. But Bitcoin,
you are not one of them.
I am not one of them, I guess is where I was going with that. But since I'm not good at verbalizing, I left that part out. But Bitcoin not only is the original, everybody knows about Bitcoin. Everybody knew it was going to be number one. Everybody knows that that's the standard for which the whole industry is set. When CNN or NBC or anybody talks about the crypto market, somebody refers to where the Bitcoin price is at. If the Bitcoin price is up, most of the projects are up. If the Bitcoin price is down, most of the projects are down. If a project goes up when Bitcoin's going down, that's exciting because that's moving against the market, because Bitcoin is the crypto market. Even though it's not really a cryptocurrency in the way that a lot of these other ones are, it's been described so many ways. It's a store of value. It's property. It's not a security. I don't know if it falls into the commodity. I mean, it's a property is the way that it keeps getting described. Yeah. So they obviously compare it to digital gold. Gold is a good long-term store of value, but the thing that makes Bitcoin even better than that is it's instantly divisible into just tiny, 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 tiny pieces. It's instantly reassemblable into large fortunes. You can carry it in your head if you can remember your passcodes. You can move it internationally. You can send it to somebody in seconds via the Lightning Network. You can have as much as you want for as long as you want.
Yeah, and
it can't be seized.
It's the original. It's decentralized. The technology, the underlying technology, is what makes it so secure. There's no central ownership. It is completely decentralized. It cannot be changed. There will never be any more. It is the body of crypto.
Yeah, there's 21 million will ever be mined. Not all of them are even mined yet, but there's already been so many lost and, on wallets that will never be recovered. I mean, we're already way less than 21 million. So it's very scarce because there's no inflationary anything written into the code. There will never be any more than 21 million, and probably never be anything close to 20 million in circulation. So it's not inflationary, unlike gold, where even though gold is scarce and valuable, every year they pull more out of the ground. So if you have 1/100th of all the gold in the world, next year when they pull out another 1%, you have less in relation to all the gold in the world. So even though you have the same amount of gold, technically there's more gold, and that makes your gold less valuable, even though the price still goes up. That's the price is different necessarily than the value than what you have. But that is not the case with Bitcoin. It is pure money. It is valuable. It is electronic gold, but even better.
Amen.
Amen. And here is the Bitcoin price today. Today, November 22nd, 2022, we're at just over $16,000 for one Bitcoin. It'll be exciting to see where this is at next year, whether it's much lower as we continue on in the bear market, or whether we finally make our way past it and it starts rocketing up. But November 22nd, 2022, this was the price of Bitcoin. And before we move on to the next coin, I think Ryan and I have mentioned it before, but when we first started this channel, we were super excited about some of these small coins and really degening our money into these projects, even if it was just a little bit, into some of these projects that had the chance to, 100 or 200x or 1000x. And the more that we study these projects, and the more that we have to report on the Luna crash and the FTX crash and these people stealing and this project going to zero, the more it's being beat into our heads that there are safer options than some of these small cap, long shot coins. And not financial advice, but I and Ryan invest a little bit into Bitcoin every time we're buying anything for the most part. Bitcoin should be a major part of your portfolio, because I called it this at the beginning. That is the big daddy. That is the one you want. In fact, I've got it set up to where on some of my small cap projects, if it makes a certain percentage where I sell it, I buy a certain percentage of Bitcoin with it. My goal is to use those small caps to make money quickly, to then turn it into Bitcoin, which will probably be around a lot longer than some of these small coins. I think there is the possibility for a lot of these projects to 50 and 100x. But my goal is to take those gains and buy Bitcoin to hold on value for the long time. Yeah. For generational wealth. That's the goal. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about Bitcoin?
All the little Bens running around.
Whew. Heaven help us. You got anything else to say about Bitcoin?
No, Bitcoin is Bitcoin is Bitcoin.
Right. It should be an important part of your crypto strategy.
Well said.
Where's my
anticipation for number 9?
So going down, number 9 is Ethereum. Ethereum, while similar, is the exact opposite as far as the way you use it. Ethereum is a very useful. Bitcoin should be bought and held onto. It is a store of value. Its purpose is value. Its purpose is being a property, being something that holds and retains its value, and it isn't used as a currency, like an everyday currency, where you don't want to get to the point to where, you know, a lot of people, especially when it first started, they thought, I can't wait to use my Bitcoin while I'm at the store, or I'm going to buy a Ferrari with Bitcoin. That's really not the way that Bitcoin is turning out to be used. It's really turning out to be held onto and perhaps borrowed against, but mostly in an effort to preserve wealth, not to use it like a currency. And Ethereum, Ethereum is not that. Ethereum is a blockchain that has smart contracts and decentralized applications and a whole bunch of stuff built on top of it. NFTs, marketplaces, all these projects are built on here. So it is coming and going every day, especially now that it's proof of stake. It used to be proof of work. Now it's proof of stake. So the gas prices are cheaper. So more stuff is able to get done faster, quicker, and less expensive. DeFi programs, decentralized apps, and like I said, NFTs, all of that is built on the Ethereum network. And in fact, at least one other coin on this list is a layer 2 that just allows Ethereum to go even faster. But Ethereum is a tool. Like if Bitcoin is gold, then Ethereum is like shovels and drills and, you know, a marketplace and a net, you know, it's like, it's very usable. The idea is to use it every day. And if you hold on to that coin that's getting used to buy and build and transfer, then you'll get, especially if you're staking, then you'll end up getting some value from that. But then the price of the coin will also increase, because the more people that start using it, the less of that coin is going to be available. The market cap for Ethereum, this is something now that come on, where are you at? All right, so let's see the Bitcoin market cap. What are we at here? Fully diluted market cap is 340 billion. One of the things, now that the merge is over, the next thing that they're thinking could happen with Ethereum is potentially the flippening. And the flippening is where they think that Ethereum will eventually move into number 1 of the market caps of cryptocurrencies, only because it's getting used so much. And because now that it's deflationary, there's a lot more reason to buy and hold on to Ethereum the way you would hold on to Bitcoin, but it's getting used so much that it's actually deflationary. So the coins that they have right now, there are going to be less tomorrow and less the next day. So unlike digging up gold and every year you find more, this year, every year, they're basically launching some of this gold off into space, never to be seen again. So Ethereum is getting more and more expensive, and the market cap is growing. And one of the things that a lot of Ethereum fans and enthusiasts, that's what you call them.
Yeah.
Yes. Enthusiasts think could happen in 2023 is the flippening. So, we got a long way to go if you're going to flip that. Because what was that?
Yeah.
430. This is at 138 billion. So you're looking at 4x. It would have to grow 4 times as fast as Bitcoin, which is unlikely. But that's kind of the thing that they're hoping for next, is that the Ethereum market cap will jump up to rival or beat Bitcoin. I guess I could have done that right here on coinmarketcap.com. It actually shows you where we're at. So that's actually only 3 times.
Yeah, and that's my opinion also, is it's not going to happen in 2023, but it will have a point with Ethereum becoming deflationary now and the use cases just expanding tremendously. And you throw in Solana taking a big hit, although I think they'll be back. But eventually the demand for Ethereum and all that it's done with the smart contracts and all these projects will outgrow the market cap of Bitcoin, I think. But
because even though Ethereum has now started the merge or done the merge to proof of stake, they've still got 3 or 4. There's the merge, the purge, the splurge. I don't know. They had a whole bunch of other things. They're not even to their final product yet. So they've got a lot of improvements that they're going to continue on. So Ethereum's really growing. And like Ryan said, it's the use case that really makes it valuable, whereas Bitcoin just holding on to the value is what makes it value. So Ethereum is the number 2 coin on CoinMarketCap, and it's the number 2 on my list. Those are obviously the top 2 coins. Those are the ones that you should have some exposure to, probably in any crypto portfolio that you have. This talks a little bit about the before the merge and after the merge. We talked about this. We did a whole episode on the Ethereum merge. I'll just go ahead and link that down below. You can click on that and you can read all the specifics, and you can watch our episode on it that really explains what it did when it went from proof of stake or proof of work, like Bitcoin miners, to proof of stake, which is what they're at now, which is how you validate it with large sums of money propping up the network.
Yeah, many people considered that changeover from proof of work to proof of stake the biggest event since Bitcoin came on the market. Was invented.
Yeah, and it went so smoothly. You didn't really hear about it after the merge, and that's because everybody kind of was thinking that it wasn't going to go smoothly. Everybody was stocking up on all the secondary layer ones like Cardano and Solana, and it went smoothly. It went the way that they expected it to, and it just sort of, you didn't hear about it because everybody was hoping for blood, and that wasn't the case.
Without a hitch.
Yeah. So speaking of, you got anything else to say about Ethereum? That's my number 2.
Love it, own it.
Yep, I got some, and it's yield bearing on Coinbase, as well as a lot of other places. But yeah, if you buy Ethereum and then convert it to Ethereum 2.0, it actually earns like 6% on Coinbase.
Pretty solid.
And that does make you a target of CZ, and he will come after you. He will make fun of you for doing it on Twitter, but
he's proven it.
Yeah. He'll delete the tweet 5 minutes later. The third coin, and I can't decide if this is my third favorite, but it's way up there. Also yield bearing. Nope, this one's not yield bearing on Coinbase, I don't think, but I've got it staked in a decentralized wallet. It's the Polygon chain. It's the Matic token. If you're looking it up on one of the exchanges, Matic is the name of the coin, but it's for the Polygon network. And the Polygon is a layer 2 on Ethereum. And Ryan and I we were giving out great information all year. We just didn't take our own advice. It seemed like 3 out of every 4 weeks in the month, we were talking about a new program that Polygon or Matic was either partnering up with or somebody that was using the Polygon chain. And we talked about it. And in fact, I told Ryan, I probably bought more Matic in 2022 than any other project. And when the price doubled, I went, oh my gosh. And I went and I looked, I had 0 Matic. And the reason I had 0 Matic is because I use Matic for everything. All these NFT programs, the Polygon network, anything I'm buying or selling, anytime I'm transferring money, I transfer it to Matic because it goes so quick and it's so cheap. All the stuff we bought on NextEarth was bought with Matic. Anytime I was buying stuff on a smaller exchange like MEXC, I'd send it there in Matic and then buy whatever I wanted and then send it back to a decentralized wallet. I used Matic all year. And all year we talked about how good Matic was. And then everybody else was using it. And eventually the price doubled in like 2 weeks' time. And I realized I did not save any Matic. I spent it all. I was using it. So I thought, well, this has got to be, even if I'm doubting myself on whether it's even my third favorite, but it's my number 1 most used coin. I use it for everything.
It's so easily used. It works all over the place. It's very, flawless to send around, buy stuff, accumulate. Yeah, it was the it it's kind of like electricity. Like you go in a room, you flip on the switch, you don't think twice about it. Like it's
That's a
just there. It's
perfect
always
example.
there. It's always usable. It's so seamless that you even think about it until, like you said, it doubled and you're like, "Oh, I completely forgot. There's a ton of value in this thing."
Right. Yeah. And so it's a layer two. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are both layer ones. Those are blockchains right here. Everything happens on that chain. A layer two happens just above it. And the way it works out is cheaper, is it uses its own little blockchain. You buy and sell. It's quicker. It's faster. Once everything's settled up here, then they go and they register it on the layer one blockchain. But they don't make you wait. Like it gets confirmed up here on layer two, so the process can go through. So you can buy stuff in game, or you can buy stuff in a metaverse or in a marketplace, and it goes through like that. And then when you've gone on with your life, Polygon takes the time to make sure that it gets registered on the Ethereum layer one blockchain. So it's there for forever. So this is a layer two. You have to bridge it to the layer two. And there's been a lot of security issues with different bridges. That's a good time to get hacked, basically, is if you're not doing that exactly right. But Polygon does the best job that we've heard of on keeping that secure. And if you do it the way you're supposed to, it's a very secure process, but it's very interesting the way it works, because Ethereum, especially when it was proof of work, was much slower, and they were processing like 15 processes a minute or a second. I don't remember what it was, but obviously the world's going on a lot faster than that. So you have these layer twos, of which Polygon is probably the best, that processes everything super fast. And then when Ethereum is ready for it, it uploads that to the blockchain on the layer one, and that way it's on there for forever. So
yeah, it's batching transactions.
yeah, Polygon is definitely something worth looking into. One, for the long term, but two, because again, I use it for everything. I use it for NFT projects. I use it for moving around. If I have to pay somebody, Polygon's a great way to do it, because you can zip it to them fast and cheap.
And they're always keeping it interesting. There's always new projects coming on board with Polygon, because it's so seamless. It just is. It's impressive. There's always fun stuff with Polygon.
Yeah. Disney is partnering with Polygon. And we all know what Disney is. Disney owns all the intellectual property from everything from 21st Century Fox, Star Wars, Marvel. Yeah. So that's huge. And we've talked about that before this year, and I didn't pay attention. And Starbucks uses Polygon for their massive customer loyalty program. We mentioned that on the channel, and I didn't pay attention.
You think about this just occurred to me, but you have a Starbucks where comes on Polygon, and you're going to be able to buy drinks or whatever that is going to be. You have a company like Disney. How many companies are owned under that conglomerate that are going to operate on Polygon? You're not just buying something from Disney. All these smaller businesses that all run under Disney that are going to all be using Polygon.
Right. Yeah, and that the possibilities there are endless, because you're not looking at just 42 classic Disney movies that you're having access to. It's the parks, it's the merchandise, it's Star Wars, it's every superhero movie ever made, it's The Simpsons, it's any intellectual property owned by them. They've got metaverse plans, they've got digital park plans, they've got so much different stuff in the works, and they partnered with Polygon to be the main blockchain that they do most of that on.
Love it.
Yep, it's a good one. It's a good one. One of my goals for 2023 is to buy some Polygon to not use. I'm going to hold on to some Polygon because it's just a good coin. It's a good coin. Another one that's taking a lot, I won't say it's taking, but definitely rivals the Ethereum network, is Cardano. It's a layer one. It's very similar to Ethereum. Before Ethereum switched to proof of stake, Cardano was already proof of stake. So it was already faster. It was already quickly scalable. They have a lot of decentralized apps on there. If Cardano would have came out before Ethereum, it would have been exactly in the position where Ethereum was, but just running better, I believe. But because Ethereum was the first mover, they've held the lead. But I think Cardano has so much good stuff on its chain. It's got a great, is it a CEO? What's that guy's name? Do you remember what the Cardano CEO is?
No, his face pops up all the time.
He does a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, he's on YouTube videos a whole bunch. I'm just gonna look it up real quick. CEO of Cardano. I don't even know if it's called the CEO or if he's just the founder or the developer. Charles Hoskinson, the founder and CEO. So, if you look that name up, or CEO of Cardano on YouTube, there's a ton of videos. He's very passionate about that project, and he's super smart, man. He really talks about a lot of the weaknesses that a network like Ethereum has, and some of the ways that Cardano excels and goes beyond and has more capabilities. It has less dApps on there than Ethereum, but it's a very useful tool and a very enthusiastic fan base. People who like Cardano love Cardano. I mean, he was talking about Cardano tattoos and naming their kids Ada, and so the community around Cardano is very enthusiastic for the project.
Alex Becker likes to make fun of their enthusiasm for Cardano.
He does
in almost every episode.
He does, and it's well placed. I mean, because it's like anybody that you see that's overly enthusiastic about something. It doesn't matter. It's like Disney adults where you're just like, Jiminy Christmas, that's ridiculous. It doesn't mean Disney's not successful or not putting out a good project or not a good place to invest your money. It's just, holy smokes. Yeah, calm down. He does a lot of PG-13 rated insults, so we won't get into them, but it is funny listening to him. But I do like Cardano, and it is a good project.
Very strong, on the right track. Very interested to see how they continue to do.
Yep, let me pop up. We'll go check out the coin market cap for Cardano. It is number 8 overall. The market cap is 10 billion. The current price is 31 cents. So it wasn't that long ago that they thought, well, it'll never get below 50 cents again. It's just too strong. You'll never get it below 50 cents, and you better get it now before it's over $1. And just the nature of it looks like the 1 hour and the 24 hour, everything's green, but over the 7 days, everything's red, except for Litecoin, which is up 20. What the heck is that about?
God, I know. I've almost bought that several times, and I had not, and I keep waiting for it to get back down to 52. I better stop. I need to stop waiting. Yeah.
Well, that's not on my top 10 coins, but if I had 11, Litecoin just made it.
Stop the episode now. It isn't even worth watching.
Here's some of the products in the Cardano ecosystem, some of their swaps, some of their games, their NFT projects. They got wallets that are exclusive to them, and then they got ones that they're compatible with. You don't have to look at all of them, but just take a look from a 1,000-yard stare at it and realize that they got a lot going on.
Love me some infographics.
I know you do. I tried to find some good ones, but some of these didn't have a lot of info on their graphics. So I tried to find the ones that had the most stuff going on. The next coin, do you know what that coin is?
Binance
coin, the BNB coin. If you're looking it up on one of the exchanges, BNB is the Binance coin. It's what they use on their exchange. Binance is ran by the bully CZ, who's going around trying to put everybody out of business. But he's a bully because he's the biggest and the strongest, and he's got the most firepower. They are obviously doing really good. They're the number one centralized exchange right now. They move the most money. They have the most volume per day of centralized exchanges. And their coin is, I think their coin is actually in the top 5. Yeah. Looks like, 5 and 6 are the BNB coin, and then the BNB or the Binance stable coin. But BNB right there is number 5 overall, $42 billion market cap. The current price is $265.
Ton of money and assets. Yeah, they are strong, which is why, not why, but he has the ability to bully.
Right.
They are incredibly strong.
They must be very secure. They must be very safe. They must not have a lot of backdoor dealings or a lot of shaky assets, because he's calling out so many people that he must know that they have nothing on him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's picking so many fights. It's clear that his closet is free of skeletons. So that's a pretty safe coin.
Or you use the reverse psychology of SBF and go front and center asking for regulation, when the reality is
when you're the worst offender.
Yeah.
Oh, SBF. Yeah. So Binance, we talked about, it is a centralized exchange. So this is a centralized exchange coin. I know there's going to be at least one other coin on here that's a centralized exchange. There's also a decentralized exchange. We know the dangers of both. Like Ryan says, practice safe sex. That's if you're going to use a CEX, a centralized exchange, use it and get off of it. Because if you were trading on FTX, when it all collapsed, your money is locked up now. There you go. Ryan's little banner down there. Practice safe sex with the BNB coin. You got anything to say about BNB? That's just pretty obvious. They use it for trading.
It's been kind of my newfound love here over the last couple of weeks. Like I really hadn't paid any attention to Binance, and actually I started paying attention prior to the whole FTX deal, it's a really, really great token. Lots of versatility, extremely strong, just so many things to choose from.
And if you use the BNB token to exchange and trade on Binance, I think you get some sort of a discount when you're trading. It's like on your trading fees, there's a small discount. So there's reasons to hold on to it. And use it. Like there's reasons to hold on to it because you can stake it on a lot of different sites, but you can also use it to actually get a discount on your trading fees if you're buying your other cryptos from Binance. All right, well, now you got to take off your safe sex banner because this is a DEX. This is a decentralized exchange. This is Uniswap. The Uniswap token is UNI if you're looking for it to buy. It's exactly what the BNB token is, except for Uniswap. It's used when they're transferring. It's used when you're converting other cryptos. Uniswap is one of the biggest decentralized exchanges where you can go and get all sorts of coins. If they're not available on a listed centralized exchange, going to a place like SushiSwap or a Uniswap is where you get them, especially when they're early, new, small tokens. So Uniswap is my number 6 token. And that way I thought you got one from a decentralized, you get one from a centralized with the BNB. This was one I couldn't find any infographics on, so I just put their logo twice because I love that logo. I think
it is such a cool logo.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about Web3 is I feel like one of the bad things is it's ran by children, and one of the good things is it's ran by children. So they just do their logos however they want, right. And it's like, logos, hey, how about a pink unicorn? Do it.
Yeah, name their protocols: SushiSwap,
SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, Uniswap. They've got it all. So UNI is the coin name. Actually, let's look up and see where we're at here.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
I don't know if that's
I use Uniswap, but I've never really paid attention to the
Uniswap. $4 billion market cap.
Yeah.
$5.28 a coin. Not bad. Top 20 coin.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, I like that. Just these aren't on the list, but Avalanche and Chainlink are ones that are always getting talked about on YouTube. Those are very popular. Yeah, very popular,
Yeah,
very useful networks.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about either of those, but you're exactly right. They come up all the time. The name comes up all the time.
Yes. Cosmos is a smaller one, but you can stake it on Coinbase. So I do have some of that, but it's not on our top 10 list. So
okay. We're getting
7.
We're getting distracted.
Yeah, we are. There's so many good coins. That's why we made the top 10 list, because here's 10 to look into. But even me, I think I've got probably 25 tokens between all my exchanges and wallets that I have. It doesn't mean I need 25, but when I see something that looks good, it's so tempting to hang on to them. So I'd have 26 if I held on to my Matic. Crypto.com used to be called the Crypto.com coin. They changed it to Kronos. The symbol is CRO. It is the centralized exchange token for Crypto.com. And Crypto.com, I know I talk about it a lot, but it's one of my favorites because it's got the perfect name to advance the entire industry. They're based in America, so they are regulated. There are certain things that they can and can't do. There are certain, not securities, safety nets that places like FTX worldwide did not have. So I like Crypto.com, and I like their rewards programs. I like the stuff that they're doing for the people who get on there. They do have staking, they do have yield bearing tokens, and they do have like a debit card that also gives you Crow tokens back. Unlike FTX, and I think this is important to make a distinction of, FTX went down because they had ridiculous yield percentages on some of their tokens. The way they did that was they took your money and they made risky investments. And this was this is exactly how it was done. This was not part of the way they did it when it was, shady. They make risky investments that with your money, they make money from those investments, and then they give you a high percentage back for letting them use your money. The way Crypto.com makes enough money to provide yield is they give you a percentage of the money that they make as a company based on user fees, trade fees, all the different products and services that they offer. So it's like a dividend from a stock. The way they pay the yields is more like a dividend and less like here, let us borrow your money. We're going to go to the casino, and if we win, we'll give you some. So it's actually it's not risky investments that pays the yield on this. It's the expensive. It is expensive to trade on Crypto.com. The fees are even higher than Coinbase, and Coinbase is pretty expensive, but it's a very safe place to do it. I mean, you got to say that pretty like walking on eggshells. I don't want this to be cut up into a compilation video later when Crypto.com crashes. But after
you and Matt Damon sharing this,
I'm telling you, after all the FTX fallout, they came out and it kind of explained how they run their business, what makes them different than FTX, where they're based out of, how they do what they do, how they hold user tokens, how they're how they're transparent, and how stuff works within the company. So I watched several videos on it. I left my money in Crypto.com. I'm pretty satisfied and pretty okay with the level of safety, and their CEO seemed to be pretty forthright. Nothing's safe, and I know that, but I'm okay with it. And I like that they said, you know, we make a lot of money from users every year because we charge a ridiculously high price to trade on here. But we do that because we can do it with fiat, we can do it with credit cards, we can do it with a whole bunch of different ways. And the reason FTX always advertised that their trading fees were 80% less is because apparently the whole time they were taking the money out of your wallet and going down the road and gambling it on whatever. So crypto.com is very transparent that it's expensive to buy and sell on here, but they make a lot of money as a company. And because they have a lot of money as a company, they spend it two ways. They give it back to the users in forms of yield on their token and several other. You can stake a lot of tokens on crypto.com. Along with that, they have rewards for their debit card usage. You can get like free Spotify, free Hulu. I think there's like Airbnb credit. There's all sorts of stuff that they have by using their debit card that you actually can load up and re-up with the Crow tokens, which is pretty cool. The second way that they give that money or use that money is they advertise heavily because they're in it for the long haul. So they said the main point of their goal right now is not to buy a $14 million pad in the Bahamas for them and their 10 boyfriends to live in and steal everybody else's money. Their goal is to be the biggest crypto exchange going forward. That's why they've got the old Staples Center is now the crypto.com arena. In fact, I think I got a picture of that.
In all its highlighted glory.
Yeah. Crypto.com arena. They're pushing forward not just crypto.com, but the whole industry. Anything that has to do with crypto is made more visible the better that crypto.com does. And they're playing the long game. They are trying to get millions and billions of people onboarded into Web3 by using their programs, their products. They've got to learn to earn. They really are a full
service.
Yeah, full service, new to crypto. I mean, if you just saw crypto.com arena and you didn't know anything else about crypto and you thought, I want to see what that's about, you can download their app and they walk you through everything. They do the learn to earn where they kind of explain some of the basic tokens. They do little quizzes. They take you through quests where you can earn some Crow tokens by going and learning about how the blockchain works. And then they offer up their debit card, which I don't know how many people are familiar with how a debit card works, but basically the merchants where you're using that card pay a fee for the ease of use of paying it on a card. So they make money from that. They make money from the exchange. They make money from a lot of these different ways, and they share it back to the user, and they use it in advertising to make sure that for the next 20 years, they're getting more and more people onboarded into the exchange and into the industry. And because Matt Damon told me to buy it, I'm in. That's why it's on my list. Yeah, I love it. I love crypto.com. And in fact, I've got 2 different bags of Crow tokens staked on crypto.com. And every week it shows me, it does a little notification on my phone that tells me how many more Crow tokens I've earned in the last week just because of the ones that I've staked. So I love that. And even though the Crow token has dropped significantly, I think about what it would be if I was getting that amount of tokens every week back when it was at its highest. And I'm excited. I'm ready to put more on there. Not financial advice, but I love it. I love the staking and the yield.
Yeah. Definitely some of the better parts of cryptocurrency.
And they also, they're crypto.com. I know we've mentioned this before. They want to be the full service. They want to be the Bank of America of crypto. They want you to go to crypto.com to get a crypto loan to buy a house. They want to have it. They do have a pretty awesome NFT market, loans, checking accounts. I mean, basically, you can already buy stuff with crypto every day through their debit card. They just want to be a full service financial institution that just runs on the blockchain, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, they're well on their way, I think.
Yep. You got any?
Especially if they can weather this bear market, which they seem to be doing.
Yeah, they're another one that immediately took the hits right off the bat after FTX. People started saying crypto.com was next, and CZ started talking his shit, coming at them, and they came out with an AMA and a whole bunch of their financials. They're actually doing a full audit with an outside source right now. I think it's not quite out yet, but in the next week or two, it should be out, where they supposedly have one-to-one all of the funds of all their customer money. In fact, they're the one that 30% of the money that they have locked up is Shiba Inu. And people were given so much crap. They're like, how could 30% of your bag be Shiba Inu? And they said, listen, we're one-to-one. Whatever our customers buy, that's what we hold. So 30% of what our customers bought last year were Shiba Inu. That's what we're holding on to. So it's funny, but it's like, it's not the company making those choices. It's not like they decided to put their bankroll onto Shiba Inu.
Yeah, it's hilarious that they're catching trash from it. And it's because there's people out there that actually own 30, is being bought by people. So laugh at us because we're an institution, but there's people that own these.
Yeah, out of the billions of dollars staked and saved on crypto.com, 30% of it, Shiba Inu.
Headed to the moon.
Yeah. Next up is Solana, another one that took a real kick in the pants this last couple of weeks because of its involvement, because of its exposure to FTX, and because Sam Bankman-Fried really, really liked this project, and anything that he liked definitely is getting the once over from everybody. But if you look into this project and you look into their capabilities and their technology, they've got a lot of positives going for them. They've got a lot of negatives. One of them being they are very centralized. They kind of advertise as a decentralized layer one, but they're very centralized, and it's very hard to get in and be a node or be a validator. It's very expensive, which really limits the amount of institutions that are able to do it, which really limits the amount of, decentralization that it's capable of. If it's only big companies that can do it. They've also had several, because of the way that their blockchain is set up, it's very, very, very cheap to send a lot of stuff quickly. So when they were getting hit with bugs, it was because it wasn't costing the hackers or the people who were messing with it very much money. If they were going to do the same thing with Ethereum to bog it down, it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to send that much stuff. But it didn't cost that on Solana. So they found out you could really send a lot of stuff really fast and kind of bottleneck it at very important times in the Solana timeline and plug it up. So they're trying to fix a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that Solana needs to fix. But one of the things that they do differently than a lot of the blockchains is it's what's it called? Proof of history. And so when Ethereum is sending stuff to and actually putting it on the blockchain, they have to verify with a whole bunch of the nodes and a whole bunch of the validators which block came first. And so it's like if somebody makes a block, they verify with 5 or 6 other ones. Everybody agrees this one was first, so they stamp it and put it down. And one of the things Solana does is when the block is created, it's automatically time-stamped. So basically they timestamp it and then throw it in a bucket. And it's like, it's done. It's verified, it's ready to go. And then as they're going through the bucket later, they're just finding the ones that go in the line next. They're already timestamped, so they don't have to organize it as they're coming in. They can organize it when stuff slows down. So that's why Solana can move so much faster, because they timestamp it send it to the blockchain, even though it doesn't get posted yet. It's already timestamped, so eventually they will find out, down to the nanosecond, which one came first, and so they're able to handle. Man, I think they said like 100,000 transactions per second. They've never gotten up to that, so it hasn't been proven, but they definitely can handle a lot of transactions. And because of the nature of their coin and the way it's set up, it's also super inexpensive. So early on, it was billed as the Ethereum killer. It's failed too many times at crucial moments for it to be anywhere near an Ethereum killer at this point. It still has a very positive future above it. There's a lot of programs, a lot of software and dApps being built on the Solana network. They've got a lot of great partnerships. We're so far down the list. I've just been talking. They elude me right now. There was a couple of them that I was like super excited about. If I think of them, I'll scroll them on the screen in post-production. But Solana is a really good project. And at one point it was like $250. And because of its involvement with SBF and its ties to FTX and the hit that it's taking, I think last time I checked, it was $11. So last week I went and bought a whole bunch. I'll be buying some more next week. But I like to look at what the coin is capable of, and it's capable of hitting its all-time high. I think a lot of these projects are going to get back to their all-time high. They're either going to completely disappear or at least get back to their all-time high. And so at this point, you're looking at almost a 25x for Solana just to get back to where it was. And I think back then, it didn't have near the dApps on it. It didn't have the Solana phone. It didn't have the wallets. I mean, they're doing so much on this project. They've got a Solana retail store in New York City, and a very fervent fan base. So there's their ecosystem, similar to Cardano. These are just some of the projects that run on there or that they're compatible with. So very
it's got
cool.
a lot going on.
Yeah. And stakeable. Although I did notice in Coinbase, just in the last week or two, it went from about a 6% staking yield to 1.25. I haven't done enough research on it to know if that's built in, if it hits a certain price or if it hits a certain amount of users, or if there's some fail safes in there. But the yield just dropped without notice for me. Again, it's probably in the code somewhere. It's probably on the white paper. I just invest willy-nilly, so I did not read it. But I did notice that I bought a whole bunch more Solana, and the yield dropped by about 5%. So
I ain't got time to read all this. I got money to. Let's go.
That's right. So that's Solana. And one more thing about Solana. It was founded by a guy who worked for Qualcomm for like 20 years, which is a major telephone, voice
communications.
Telecommunications deal. And he has several patents for like really improving the telecommunication industry. Like a lot of the stuff that he used, he patented and was used by Qualcomm and other players in the industry. So it's nice that one of these coins and some of these projects aren't ran by a 25-year-old kid, who doesn't have a lot of history. Yeah, you know what I mean? FTX, there's a lot of red flags post breakdown.
We're not eloquently saying is there's a lot to be had with experience and real world experience. However you want to look at that, there's a lot to be had of that.
Charles Hoskinson with Cardano, and then the CEO of Solana, like I said, he's got patents. Like he was actually revolutionizing the industry before crypto was an industry. I mean, somebody who is a major player in something like that, and then bringing it over to this. And in fact, they partnered with Qualcomm on some new updates for their Solana phone that they're coming up. So he's got a lot of connections in the industries, and everybody uses a cell phone for their Web3, for their wallets, for stuff like that. But there isn't another project that's really coming out with a very specific phone. You know what I mean? You use an Android or an iPhone, and Solana's actually working on a Solana phone. So that's super interesting and could also be a major onboarder of new Web3 users.
Yeah.
So SOL is that token, and it is.
Got to really scroll now.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. 16, $12. I said 11. It's back up to 12. $4 billion market cap. And here's where it was at a year ago. We were at 233, and now we're at 12. So pretty much the same thing every other has done. I mean, that makes this little jump right here. This is when FTX went bankrupt. That little blip right there, it's like, who cares? I mean, right here, everything was going good, and it fell off a cliff. So
yeah,
price is not always indicative of the technology that's being built. So next up, Algorand. Algorand is one of my favorites because it is a little bit of a long shot. It's yield bearing on Coinbase, very high yield bearing for Coinbase. It's over 6%, but they've also got an NFT marketplace. It's a very inexpensive coin. It's available on all the major exchanges. And I kind of threw it on there because I've been reading a little bit about it because they're partnering with Major League Soccer, the World Cup Soccer right now. They're releasing the NFT deal for the World Cup Soccer. So they're getting a lot of attention right now. And it's a super cheap coin. And if you're looking for something to just dip your toes into, I don't know. Yeah, here we go, right here. 25 cents, less than a quarter a piece, $1.7 billion market cap. It's down here. It's in the top 30, but it's not in the top 10. So it's a little bit riskier of a play. But they've got a lot of big things above Kronos, but that's a mistake. Let's see.
Surely that's an error.
But
you better get in there and buy some more tokens. Get that price.
Yeah,
up.
that's what I need. It's the only reason Kronos is lower is because they've given so much back to their users. So it's actually dropped it down. But Algorand's got a lot of big partnerships. They're always getting talked about as being used in a lot of these major products. So it's something that it's like Polygon. I keep hearing it, and I'm always like, oh, yeah, Algorand. I got some. Oh, yeah, Algorand. I get it. Algorand. And then it's like after the fifth time, I'm like, I think Algorand must be pretty important because everybody keeps using it. Everybody keeps saying, well, we need to make sure that we're compatible with this. In fact, I think that maybe that was one of the big things. Let me bring up my notes here.
Yeah.
That's
when your grandmother starts talking about Algorand, you pay attention.
It's one of the very few layer ones that are the ISO 2022 compliant cryptos, which is the moving. That's the code or the rules for interacting with traditional finance. So like Ripple and stuff like that will be able to move money in traditional finance. That's what banks use. That's the SWIFT system. That's all that stuff like that. And so there's only a few cryptos that have that ISO 20022 rule set in there that are compliant with that. Algorand is one of them. So it's used by traditional finance. It's used by banks, or it can be used by banks. And so when there is regulation and they are able to start putting some of the stuff like stocks or, lending on the blockchain, Algo is going to be one that's going to get looked at because it's already compliant with what traditional finance uses. That was a big reason why I put it on the list.
Yeah, nice.
So
good addition.
Yeah, and they've got just similar with Cardano and Ethereum. Lots of smart contracts, lots of decentralized apps, and a pretty good NFT marketplace.
Well-rounded.
Yep, I have one more, and this is an obvious one. We've done a video on it. Obvious for me and Ryan. It is the token is called, you know what that token is? You recognize that?
Gala.
That's right. Gala which used to be Gala Games, is now Gala Games, Gala Film, Gala Music. They've got a lot of projects going. They got a lot of huge partnerships. Snoop Dogg and the boys. They're making movies. They've got a ton of games. They use the token in the games. They use the token to build the games. They're bringing games that already exist onto the blockchain. They're allowing game creators to come and build games on the Gala network. Gala just has a lot of stuff going. They're really, I say a lot, but it's very a specific entertainment value. They're not trying to do DeFi and all this other stuff. They're just bringing the stuff you would go into Web3 for if you didn't care about Web3. If you just wanted to play some games, if you just wanted to see Snoop Dogg's newest concert, if you just wanted to be a part in making a movie or funding a movie or having something to do with the creation of a blockbuster film, Gala is trying to be that all-in-one resource for entertainment on Web3. They've got a very inexpensive coin. It's a very popular project. I love Gala. I loved it when it was Gala Games, and the more we look into it, the more I like it, because I don't even know how far down that is. It's
just so versatile.
Yeah,
versatile. Yeah, when we did our episode on it, and we're exposed to so much more of what Gala was doing. Yeah, you had to get involved. It's just ultra impressive, and they're the faces of Gala people. And then the entertainers that they have on, when you listen to them give presentations and talk, everybody's just ultra excited at what they're doing. They're on top. They seem very much on top of it, cranking stuff out just all the way around. Just not only good stuff, but good people that you would want to hang out with. You know what I mean?
Right. And it really is. It's one of those projects that they're like, we don't care about the price of things really right now, because we're too busy bringing on new games, building up new systems. They have so much going on that it's like price and everything is secondary. It's one of those things that eventually it won't have anywhere to go but up, because they're going to have so much activity going on. Gala right here, it's ranked 129. So this is my long shot out of my top 10. And I've got Gala Film, Gala Music, Gala Games, and huge partnerships. So it's 2.5 cents right now, and the market cap is at less than 180 million. So these projects I've been talking about with the multiple $billion market caps, this has a long way to go, which isn't a bad thing, I don't think. I think it has nothing but upward mobility potential. And if you buy it right now at 2.5 cents, you just have so much opportunity to make so much money, I think. Not financial advice.
It's just utilized so much when you have so many different projects, you have so many people involved with it on board. Like, there's so much with what they're doing in the entertainment industry. They are leading the way. So therefore their token, it continues to become more and more valuable. And as people come into Web3, playing games, music, like you said it so perfectly, they're into the stuff that you want to, you're coming to Web3 just for what's there. You said it so much better, but music, games, all those things that you're doing anyways.
Right. 1 year ago, it was at 74 cents. So we're looking at a 30x if it just gets back up to its high. And according to Diamond Hands here down in the comments, the bull run starts in February. So we're right there, baby.
Thanks. Running out of time. We better start accumulating.
Thanks for the heads up, Diamond Hands. A new world of entertainment is coming.
Yeah.
Open YouTube and search. Yeah, we do like Gala. So I think there's a lot going. I think, and I did that list, like I said, backwards. Usually they start at the lowest and go to the biggest. But I've got that in order of like kind of the safe plays, and then the ones that I really like but maybe aren't the safest. And then it goes down to Gala, which is the long shot. But I just feel so confident in it, so excited to see what they can do.
I don't think long shot's the right word. And I know that, and I say that because I know you don't mean that. Like, it has a ton of potential,
Yeah,
but
I don't mean long shot like
it
there's
has a
not a
ton,
good.
of
Yeah,
upside,
yeah.
ton of upside. Yeah.
You're exactly right. I don't mean that in the chance that this one might not make it, but
Yeah.
if it does, it'll pay out. You know, it's the horse with a broken leg that's 101 chance to win. That's not what I meant. I just meant because it's such a small cap coin right now, there's so much upside.
Yeah.
It'll pay off
Ton
like a
of it.
long shot.
Yep. Young to watch, man. So that's all 10 of them.
That's 10 coins.
Nice, man. All good ones. All good ones in the bear market. It's going to be fun to see how the next coming months go. And then the next year, really, where it's going to be awesome to do this a year. Like you said, it's going to be awesome to do this a year from where they're at.
Yeah.
All right. Good episode, man.
All right. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving yesterday, and I hope you have a great Black Friday today. If you don't find what you're looking for in the stores, come back and spend all your extra money on crypto.
Not financial advice.